Yes, you can put 35s on your Ford Tremor. Bye. Okay, I'm kidding. I thought that was pretty funny. Let's get to it. This is kind of a vast subject, but I'll do my best to tell you what I know about it. And then you guys can comment down below what you know. And hopefully in the end, we get to a spot where we have a database of what we know works and doesn't work. Let me first clarify that I am not the guru when it comes to trimmers. I don't know everything about them, especially when it comes to wheels. I'm trying to learn just like everybody else is trying to learn. I think where we first got to start off is that it appears that you have to have a leveling kit or a lift kit to get 35s under your truck. With tires are going to be like women's clothing. If you've ever shopped for your wife or girlfriend, you realize that a size 6 in this brand is not a size 6 in this brand, and so forth. I'm going to go on the Nitto Recon Grapplers because a lot of guys, including myself and several of my friends, that's what they're all running on their trimmer. I got 3 different sizes for you. What I have on my truck right now is the Nitto Recon Grappler 35 12.5 R18 with the stock wheel. You can get this tire on the truck with the HaloLifts setup without any cutting or rubbing.
As I was editing this back, I realized that I probably misspoke here. My crash bars have already been removed because I'm going to an aftermarket bumper soon. So what I did was I ran a straight edge where my crash bars would have been, and I had clearance with these tires. Just wanted to be completely 100% clear and honest with you guys. I did not have crash bars to test if I was rubbing or not on certain types of terrain. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program.
With SPC upper control arms though, you're going to have to modify slightly. If you have adjustable control arms, you're going to have to push out your control arm slightly and get it lined up to get these tires from not rubbing on the actual upper control arm themselves. What happened is that the tire would completely rub up against that control arm because it was so wide. What I had to do, back off the upper control arm, slide it out, and then take it back to an alignment shop, and they had to put just a slight amount of toe in order to get those tires to fit where they didn't rub. So keep that in mind if you're going with this wide of a wheel. Now, with this tire itself, like I said, it's the 35 12.5 R18, and its numbers are going to be 34.5 inches. So it's not even a 35-inch tire, and this is where we're getting into all of the craziness that happens. On a 295/70 R18 Nitto Recon Grappler, it's actually going to be 34.2 inches. On a 305/70 R18, it's going to be 34.8 inches. Now, the reason I gave you these numbers was because everybody says they're putting 35s on their truck, and technically, I guess they are. Technically, I guess they're not. That's why I said in the HaloLifts video, if you ever saw that, it's a yes or no, can you put 35s on your truck? All tire manufacturers are at different numbers. So some guys are getting a tire that is completely rubbing up against their crash bars, and other guys are getting the same kind of tire that is supposed to be a 35 and it's not rubbing up against their crash bars. That's where people are kind of getting into trouble, and the confusion is happening with the last thing throwing a whole other monkey wrench into it, and that is the wheels. Guys are going to a custom wheel with tires that they know other people have put on the truck that don't rub, and they throw it on the truck and they're rubbing and they can't figure out why. It's because the offset has completely been moved of the truck. So what a lot of us are doing now is keeping the original wheels on the truck, not going to a custom wheel format, and then putting those tires on the truck, and that's how we're getting the no rubbing with a 35-inch tire. I don't know enough about the custom wheels to tell you which ones work and which ones don't. Hopefully that's another thing that you guys can comment down below so that we can kind of have a database to understand what's happening. What I do know for a fact is that the 295/70 R18 will fit under your trimmer with no cutting needed whatsoever. That is still, in my opinion, the best tire to put on this vehicle. With this setup right now, I've lost about 1.5 miles in gas mileage. Any wider or any bigger of a tire is not really going to be beneficial because of the pounds per square inch of the weight of the truck. So really, this is about as far as I would take the truck. I still personally think that the 295/70R is the best tire to put on this truck. It gives you a little bit more width than the stock tires that came with it. It's giving you a little bit more depth where you're almost at a 35-inch tire, but you're not losing fuel economy. It's gonna do all the terrain you need it to do. It's gonna grip probably better, if not exactly the same as the 12.5. Now, there was a guy that I was talking to that was trying to put on the 305 70R 18s onto his truck, and he could not get them to fit. He wasn't running a HaloLifts package or a rough country package. I believe he did one of the spacer setups. I can't remember exactly, but he wasn't able to get it on there without rubbing. Really, I think what it's coming down to, 34.5 inches, 34.8 inches. What is that number where we're gonna rub? Once we figure out what that actual number is, then everybody's gonna know if they can fit a tire on their truck or not. If I still had my crash bars, I would measure it out as best I could, but unfortunately, my hands are tied on this one. So if somebody wants to run that up the flagpole, please do. Get the best tire that you can get that you feel is gonna fit your needs the best and call it a day. Don't get so stressed out about trying to get to a true 35-inch tire. Even though it says 35 on the side of my tire, it's technically not a real 35-inch tire if you're going by actual inches. So just to recap, like I said, almost any level kit or lift kit, it appears that most guys can get a 35-inch tire under their truck without having to cut off those crash bars. Please, if you don't mind, if you've upgraded to 35-inch tires, leave a comment down below of what you have on your truck and whether you have rubbing or no rubbing, or if you had to cut off that bracket, because it's going to help everybody out in the end. And I look forward to learning a little bit more about it as well. I hope this helped you guys out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, we hope to see you out there on the trails. Bye.